Hello and welcome back, guys, to another episode of It's a Silly World podcast. With me, Utkarsh and joining me today is Soumyakant Barik. Soumya, how are you?
I'm actually doing good this time. How about you?
Okay, I'm good. And we also have, as you guys probably know from the title by now, a very special guest and one guest that I was really excited about for a long time,
Hmm.
and it's finally happened. Like, I had to sit on that news for about 2 weeks, and it was really tough.
Yeah, I remember you telling me all the time.
Yeah. This was such a unnatural experience. Like, it was very unnerving, and like, I was very anxious through the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I haven't said the name. It's Lucy Spraggan. In case you haven't read the title.
Everybody must have read the title.
Yeah, if there is someone as dumb as me, I guess they might have missed it.
Okay.
Because like a lot of times I'll have podcast on plays
Hmm.
and it will skip to the next podcast, and it will take me some time to register that it's not the same episode
Hmm.
and it's some different show.
Yeah. Like what is happening here?
So yeah, we have Lucy Spraggan on this episode. For those of you who do not want to listen to us, maybe skip to like 5 minute mark or something like that. We'll probably start the interview then.
And I think most of the listeners will do that.
Yeah, of course. And for those of you who do not know and want some context, Lucy Spraggan, if you guys haven't heard about her, she is one of the most amazing singers and she's a really great songwriter as well. And I've been a fan for like past 3-4 years, and there's not a single song from her that I haven't heard. She rose to fame from X Factor 2012, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was amazing. She's actually one of the only people who actually had like a top 10 album before she finished with X Factor.
That's interesting.
Like just from her audition alone, she actually had like a top 10 album.
Wow.
Which is amazing. Like,
Uh,
and when you think about it, like there's not many people who actually come out of such talent shows and are like really good. Like, obviously you have some of them like Ella Henderson, or like, what was the name, One Direction,
Yeah.
or Fifth Harmony.
But generally what happens is the ones that get the title in the show, like the shows and all the stuff, they don't generally become popular after the show ends.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the whole situation in India, one of the only people that I remember winning a talent show was Abhijit Sawant, and he was very hot for like a year or so, and then he just faded away.
Yeah.
And then there's people like Neha Kakkar, and there was one more who actually came from the Indian Idols and stuff like that, but I did not know until very recently that they actually came from all those talent shows.
Also, even Jubin Natyal participated in Idol, I think, but he didn't win it. Also, I think Arjit Singh also participated in some shows, or am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So anyways, yeah, we have Lucy Spraggan here today, and it's not the best that I could have actually had. Like, this is not the best interview that she will have. And honestly, like, given all the stuff that happened that day, like, it was one of the worst days for me to actually interview her. Like, I was having a bad day already, and then like my internet kept messing up, and like there was time conflicts, and a lot of stuff happened during that day.
Yeah, Utkarsh was telling about it off record to me, and it was crazy, man.
Yeah, like a lot of shit went down that day, and I had to edit this whole interview like crazy. Like, I think the amount of conversation that I have put it in this episode, it's the same amount of conversation that I had to cut off because of how much it was distorted because of like poor network issues and stuff.
But that's okay. We did our best.
Yeah, we did our best, obviously, and I hope in the future we have one another such chance. And at this point, like, I'm actually glad that we had this opportunity, and it also
Yeah,
actually gave me lesson like what all do I need to do for the future guests. Like, how can I avoid all those problems? I mean, I cannot
mm,
really control the network and how it behaves on a particular day,
mm,
but maybe, yeah, of course, like I can check, and if it's possible, maybe we can schedule around in a way that my network isn't as bad.
yeah.
But yeah, there are just some bad days and you cannot
Mm.
avoid them.
You can control everything.
Yeah, you cannot really control everything, but yeah, one thing that I can apologize for is how nervous I was. Like, you would easily realize that I wasn't really in my comfort zone for the most of the conversation because I was really anxious. I mean, I'm already a very socially awkward person. Like,
Yeah,
one of my biggest fears is social interactions with people I don't know.
me too.
And so, yeah, like that whole conversation was, I was on my toes the whole time. Like, normally when you tune into a podcast, and
Hmm.
it's all usually like people are talking in a very chilled out manner. The tone, their cadence is very chilled out, and like it's all soothing and stuff. With me, I was borderline shouting my questions. Like, I won't say shouting, but like,
Yeah, but that's okay. I think that's okay because like you are meeting your idol.
oh yeah, like definitely. That's one of the reasons that I wanted either you or Siddhant to be there in that interview, because
Huh.
I knew for a fact that I was going to flip out in that interview. Like, I have been following this person for like 3-4 years, and she has been a role model. Like, a
Hmm.
lot of what I write has been inspired from what she has written. So it was really like one of the moment, like meeting your heroes kind of thing.
Hmm.
To me, this is so surreal even now to think like I had a
Yeah,
40-50 minute chat with Lucy Spraggan. Like, Lucy Spraggan that I looked up to.
that's great.
But it's not that bad of an interview in the end, and
Yeah.
yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it and listen to the interview, and
Hmm.
we'll catch up after you're listening done to it.
Yeah.
So here you go.
So, hello Lucy, and welcome to our podcast. And I am very nervous, and I'll try not to be a big fanboy for the next half an hour and not to waste much time and actually get across the questions that I wanted to ask you. Shall we start?
Of course. Yeah.
So, first of all, I wanted to ask you, which is one question that you are bored of, that you have been asked over and over again, that you don't want me to ask?
Probably anything about the X Factor.
Okay, so
that
it's like
that
two
was
of my questions
te-
gone.
no, I mean you can still ask it, but it was just like 10 years ago. Well, 8 years ago. So
Yeah.
people still ask me the questions about it, and I'm like, oh, so much has happened since then.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So I think I'll ask just one thing from the X Factor and then we'll move on, and which is that in your audition clip for which was last night Beer Fear, it just seems like when you entered that stage, you seemed like a bit nervous, and then like as soon as that song started, you were just in a zone of your own. So like, do you tend to zone out when you're performing, or like, are you very much aware of what you're doing and all your movements?
Yeah, I just don't know. I've never really been like somebody who has a persona or a stage presence, like a different person on stage. So yeah, I just kind of go with the flow. I don't really think about what I'm doing.
As you know, the whole pandemic has been going on, and a lot of our lives have changed in a very weird way. And you, if I'm not wrong, just had your first socially distanced concert a couple of days ago. So, like, how was it different? And like, did it feel weird, out of place, maybe?
The audience was quite far away, so that was quite a different feeling, and you can't really hear them enough. So to try and get a vibe from an audience is quite difficult if they're quite far away. But it was okay.
So, like, is it for how long do you expect such shows to go on?
I think we played for about an hour, like a normal show, so nothing really changed apart from the fact that, everybody was very far away and very far apart.
Yeah. And how's your life, like on a personal level, has changed because of this pandemic?
I think it was changing quite a lot before the pandemic begun, so it's hard to differentiate the difference between my life before and my life now. I trained a lot, so I spend a lot of time in the gym or doing, exercise. So I feel like lockdown definitely helped that progress too.
Was that something of a choice in the sense that you wanted to make this change happen, or was it something like you wanted to fill up some time because of how much you have changed and like your sobriety and all?
It was kind of more of a, this is what I do now. So rather than constantly trying to put fitness into my life, I just started going for a run here and there, and then started weights, and I like to progress in things. So the running went from 2K to 5K, 10K to 15 to 20. That was just something that progressed.
Yeah. So like you got into fitness because like there wasn't much else to do, or like you were like, I need to do this?
I just do it because I enjoy it, and I've never done it before. Like, it's never been a big thing in my life, so it just kind of came about, and then just started being a natural thing. It's weird because I never thought I'd be that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big change from like, even as a fan, I used to see you like being a massive party head and then going into like so intensely into fitness. I mean, it's like for a second, I think for a good couple of months, I did not actually open my Instagram, and then I went back and when I checked your Instagram, it was like full of fitness stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, has she stopped making music and what's going on? Like, it was
No,
a
I
bit confusing
still managed to put out an album as well, but in this climate where music's not happening at the moment, it's good to have something else to do.
Yeah. So talking about music, Flowers came out a couple of weeks ago now. It's close to a month, so which I thought was very different from anything you have put out so far, and I am all for it. Like, it was a great track, to be honest. And
I'm glad you said that. You're like, it's very different. I'm like, oh, hang on, what's he gonna say here?
yeah, no, like honestly, when the first 10 seconds started of the track, I was like, wait, hang on, did I play the wrong music? Because nothing before that sounds anything near to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a weird experience for the like first time I heard that track. I was like, surely I might have played the wrong artist or the wrong track. And then I went back again. And the funny part was, it took me about 6 replays to actually get the meaning of the song, which was very embarrassing.
Well, I just wanted to do something different this time because a lot of my albums have been really similar, and you can keep doing that for your whole life, like anything. You can keep doing the same thing over and over again, but actually for my mental liberation and creative liberation, I decided to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean the best part is I still see that, like, when I hear any track from you, I see you more as of a storyteller kind of a person, and that is still there. Like, it still told a story which definitely I did not understand at the first time, which was my fault, obviously. Like, I was actually so confused, like, when I was hearing the lyrics, and I was like, surely she's not talking about flowers at this point.
You got it in the end though, man. Well done.
Yeah, it took him embarrassingly long. And so next track is Sober, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that will be out on the 16th of October.
Yeah, so about time this episode goes up, Sober should be out, I'm guessing.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, if you're listening to this, check out Sober. I heard the 8-second tease that you put out on Instagram a couple of days ago, and yeah, I am very interested.
It's a very, this one is more like some of the other stuff that you will recognise. It's a story as well, but you will be like, oh, this sounds quite a lot like Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like it's a lot more personal as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very personal and emotional song, and yeah, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. The great thing about music is you can feel other person's emotion without really knowing them.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about music, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about music, and I'll come back to that. First of all, I want to go back to the fitness part of thing because that's what
Sure.
I'm currently really interested in myself.
Yeah.
So your body transformation has been like ridiculous, and you also have a fitness related program, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Fully Rewired it's called.
Yeah. So would you like to discuss more about that? Like explain what it is?
Yeah, Fully Rewired is just like the steps that I took with my own like health and fitness. But I wanted people to be able to follow it a little bit more like in an educated fashion, because the way I was doing it was unhealthy at some points. I wasn't eating enough and I was working out a lot. And now I know that you need to fuel your body. If you want to work out well, you need to be fueled well, and that means eating food, but just means making the right decisions and knowing about macros and calories. Change the way that I diet. I mean, I don't diet now. I eat loads, but I just eat the right things. And that's all about education. So that's what I wanted Fully Rewired to be. Teaching people that they can do things if they want. It's not easy, but you can teach yourself and you can rewire yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that really attracted me to that whole program was because I have been very anti-diet for a long time, because to me it's like I'm the kind of person that I love my food. So I'll eat, if I eat 15 calories extra, I'm ready to put out 15 more minutes on the treadmill, but I'm not ready to cut on my diet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like every time that you go to a dietitian and you ask for ways to cut down your weight or to get it more into shape, they'll always tell you like you have to eat less or things like that. I mean, I cannot give up on my cake just to get into shape. I would rather have my cake and just lay in bed.
Well, it sounds like, so that's like me. Like, I don't ever want to not eat. I eat cake. I eat Biscoff like every day.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
for me,
your Instagram stories do tell that.
I have to monitor, to make sure that I don't take the piss. And like when all right, I should be eating any more of this shit. Like, that's the truth. That's when you listen. And then if you work out, you can pretty much eat. Well, you can eat whatever you want within reason. So. And more people need to realize that it is about eating less. But if you eat things that are super tasty, but you eat less of it, you can still get that joy from food.
Yeah,
it's like tapas, small portions but great food.
Yeah, moderation to be.
Yeah.
So, one big question, and this is the biggest question that I'm going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a deal with Biscoff?
No, I don't.
I mean, I haven't counted, but I'm pretty sure in your last 15 stories that you have put out, at least 10 of them are about Biscoff.
No, I don't have a deal with Biscoff. And, I mean, it would be a nightmare if I did. I'm not sure that I would stay as lean as I am.
Yeah. So,
have you tried Biscoff?
No, actually, it's not available yet. I actually tried finding it when I heard about it, and there is nothing even similar to that available here. I tried finding in my local stores. I tried finding on online portals, but yeah, it's a bit sad that I cannot share that love.
Send me your address and I'll try and send you some out.
All right, I guess I'll try that. So, anyways, coming back to the music part of the things. Before this episode, for the last 2 days, I was actually going back to each and every track that you put out, right from Lighthouse to Flowers. And over the time, it seems like you have really evolved in a way that your music sounds very different. And at the same time, it still has those parts that I would associate with you as an artist. Like, it still has quite, I don't know if it will be appropriate of me to say that, but it feels very country while not being that at the same time. I used to joke about this with all my friends. So I actually I got into YouTube and internet, and so I found about you around 2014-15ish, and that was the same time that Taylor Swift actually started putting out more pop music.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, so this is my Taylor Swift uh, replacement.
Oh, I love that.
And
Well, I hope that I stay authentic.
you definitely are. Like, I like the fact that you haven't tried to replicate something, and even like with this one, I was very scared in the first 10 seconds. I was like, come on, another artist going pop, like this surely can't be happening at this point. And then song progressed, and there were elements of the drums kicked in at some point, and I was like, okay, this is still there. And then the lyrics did were the same, like storytelling bits. And
I feel
yeah,
like as long as, well, I would never not write my own songs. So like when I'm writing them, you know they're mine because they sound like me.
I'm a really big believer in the fact that you can actually get to know a person more from what he writes or she writes. I used to write poems, and over time you do get kind of fed up of writing the same thing. So has that happened with you?
It does, but I guess that's why I am a writer. Things change and you can write about other things.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, I think we'll take a break there, and when we return, we'll discuss some more things and a couple more questions that I have left. And yeah, let's take a break.
Hello again.
And so now that I've had some time to recollect myself and to calm down a bit, I hope the people won't be mad at me for being a little bit too excited and nervous.
No, it's good.
Yeah, so coming back to the questions, I actually had this question that I just popped up in my mind before we were sitting down. What is the weirdest fan interaction that you have had till date? Considering that I'm now going to be quite high up on that list.
No, you're not high up on the list at all.
That's good news.
I think actually we had a tour bus driver who turned up at a venue once, and we all went into the venue, and he let a load of fans look around the bus, like look at my bunk and stuff. And that's probably the weirdest thing because it's so fucking unprofessional.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised that. Yeah, isn't that a bit too personal?
Yeah, it was very strange. But
And
I'm quite lucky, really. I haven't had many weird fan interactions.
I mean, that's great because I had a viral. I had Alex Cack, who was a viral meme a year ago, and he was telling me about these weird DMs that he still gets to these days. So I mean, it's very very lucky to actually not be objectified and have really weird DMs.
I do get strange DMs, but not very many inappropriate ones.
On that similar note, so you have a girlfriend, right?
I do.
So was she is she a fan of your music?
No,
Does she?
she's not a fan. Matter of fact, if I said any lyrics to her, she would have no idea what I was talking about.
That distant?
Yeah. If I said to her, name my albums, I think she could probably name 2. Or maybe just one.
That's kind of good in a way because I would assume that if you were dating a fan, it would be kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I find people that do that, I feel like it's a bit exploitative, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, like it would be now that I think about it, it would be weird. Like you say something and she was like, "Was that in one of your songs or something like that?"
Yeah, I don't. Well, actually, because I wrote this record while I was with her, she knows a bit more about this album, so she can be a fan now she's heard this album.
Yeah, but that's better, I guess.
Definitely.
So, anything you can tell us about this album? It's been pushed back, right?
Yeah, it's coming out in February.
Yeah.
And I just think it's very personal. It's very raw. And I think it's probably the biggest sounding record. You know, you said how the sound had changed and it sounds kind of country and westerny. It definitely has a vibe of that throughout the record. So it's exciting. It's different.
So, one thing that I also wanted to know, like what happened with the whole album? Because I remember when I actually contacted for this interview, I was actually going to see whether the album will be out this month or something like that. Because I remember it was scheduled to be in October, if I'm not wrong.
October. So because there was a 3-month period here in the UK, it locked down. The process of albums and vinyls being created just was halted. So when the labels have gone to say, look, we need several thousand of these, they say, so do several thousand other people. So we couldn't get any of that stuff produced, so we decided to push it back.
So this album will be out in February, and I assume you will be touring after that.
Yes, April I'll be touring. I'm not coming to Calcutta though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect that. I mean, it's not.
I would like to, eventually.
Yeah. So I was actually listening to one of your live shows that I found on YouTube. This seemed like really fun. Like it seems like a really fun time, and I really like that. Whenever I hear your live shows, I feel like you constantly improvise your songs. Like they're not exactly like the original ones, and to me that's very fascinating because it's like to be that improvising every time you go into a live show, that you are changing up stuff to make it still keep fresh for the fans. That's really big.
I just like making it fun. I think the important thing is that when people go to a show that they feel like they're having fun, it's escapism, isn't it? So for me and for them.
Definitely is. I mean, honestly, this idea of this whole podcast is basically escapism.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of art and creativity is, isn't it?
Yeah. So, one thing I also wanted to know was, is there a particular process that you have in like songwriting, or is it just like instinctive?
It's just like pure instinct. I've been writing songs now for like nearly 20 years, so they just kind of appear. And they always really have.
Did you have a background in writing, or like was that something like you discovered, okay, I am like good at it, or like I am interested in this or something like that?
I wrote my first song when I was like 10 and or 12, and I just continued doing it. It's just something that I love doing. I can't imagine not doing it.
Yeah, and like, were there any inspirations?
Dolly Parton. Somebody who you might not have heard of is Kirsty MacColl. Kirsty, Maccall, and I think you'd really like her music.
Okay, so that's one artist I'm going to listen to now.
She's a British singer. She's great. Well, she died years ago.
Okay, that's upsetting a little bit. So, before we wrap this up, any future goals that you have, like after this album, I would assume, that you want
to come and play
maybe.
in Calcutta.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, to be honest, I'm here for like an year, but I will definitely travel back if you choose to come here.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, my goal is just to, get life back on track after all this madness, and
Yeah.
get back on tour.
So, what final question is, what's your favorite track? Like, it can be your own, it can be of anyone else's.
Favorite song of mine might be "Sober" that's coming out this month.
Okay. I mean, at this point, like 16th couldn't come soon. Like, and you are such a tease, to be honest. Like, I heard those 8 seconds on that. Like,
There's more coming.
My usual habit is to like read the caption first and then listen to whatever the video is or the photo is. And I read the caption. It was like a tease for Sober. I was like, okay, this should be interesting. And I went out and it was like 8 seconds.
You trying to listen to the music and it wasn't there.
Yeah. And I was
the one with the guitar. I see.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a fun.
There's more coming out. There's more. There's more teasers. You're gonna get more of it.
I mean,
before the
definitely looking forward to that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you lot of success with Sober, and I can't wait for the album to come out, to be honest.
Thank you so much. I'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome back, guys, from the break, and I hope you enjoyed the interview. Soumya, what did you think of it?
It was very, 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 very. I mean, it was amazing.
Are you sure?
you managed, you managed to bring Lucy Spraggan, and nothing is more amazing than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely really great. So we'll move along, and we have a couple of things that we wanted to discuss in this episode, other than the interview that's obviously going to be the highlight of it.
Yeah.
And the first thing was Fall Guys released an update.
The season 2.
Like the second season came this week.
Yes.
Yeah. So what did you think of it?
I think like Fall Guys is addictive in general, and like bringing a second season, I think it will boost its popularity, and like it will be fun to play the second season. Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I did play the second season, and I'm not sure about it. Like they only added like 4 new levels.
But like
which
I was talking about the hype around it.
Yeah, I mean there was certain hype around it. Like a lot of YouTubers were hyping it too. Like, and even a lot of my friends were hyped for it. Like, obviously second season, and even I expected quite a lot. And I think instead of adding like just 4 new levels, what they could have done or should have done would be like if they added custom maps or like at least custom lobbies, one of the two.
Custom lobby, I think that should be added in the game.
Yeah, because like I get like they did quite a lot of work in adding 4 new maps, and at some point obviously because you have very limited number of employees, and you cannot have like a billion ideas.
Yes.
So yeah, coming up and like refining 4 maps is pretty big deal, but at the same time I don't think like you are going to play through those 4 maps in like a week, and then it's back to being like bored of it.
Yeah.
And it's quite unfortunate because I feel like a game like this, like a game like Fall Guys, would have been way better off if pandemic did not exist. Because right now it's like we have so much free time that we are playing games a lot more, and so we are getting bored of them really quick. Like FIFA just came out last week.
Yeah.
And I'm already quite over it. Like earlier it used to be like FIFA, whenever the FIFA drops, like for 4 months I'll play FIFA unstopped. And there will be a certain hype to it, but it just feels like, because I mean some of it has to do with the fact that EA did not do much with it.
Okay.
Like there were not enough changes to the thing.
What did they change this year?
Not much really. Like Ultimate Team did get a little bit better, but apart from it, there isn't much that has changed. And like a couple of things I think changed, like the gameplay changed slightly, but as I played further, I am facing same kind of people who have the same tactics as FIFA 20, and it's still working. So there's not much of a change. Like there's not much refreshing. Like I could give you FIFA 20 and FIFA 21, and you wouldn't see a massive difference except for little things.
Also, considering it is 2020, they should upgrade their like graphics, man. I think
Like, you know, one thing that I am really annoyed about, if you go back and check in like early 2000s and 90s, there were so many things, like there were collaborations that I would really like to happen in this day and age. Like there were collaborations between Marvel and DC. There were collaborations like that. Very weird crossovers.
So what did they do, Marvel and DC?
Yeah, don't really look into it because it is very disappointing. But
a new superhero?
No,
What?
Not a new superhero. They basically released a comic, I think. It was a crossover between the Marvel universe and the DC universe.
Oh.
And they could have done a lot more with it, but it was just a one-off comic and it wasn't really all that great.
Oh. Like was there Iron Man versus?
No, nothing as such.
Nothing. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So talking about DC actually, Batman is coming out in 2021.
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson starring.
Yeah, I am really not sure about that choice.
That's like a weird idea, right?
Yeah. Because see, I don't want to blame the casting directors or something like that. And it's not really even his fault, but Twilight was such a massive series and it has been memed so much that I cannot really see Robert Pattinson as a serious Batman character.
Also, I don't imagine any new Batman movies topping that Batman trilogy.
Yeah, dude, I actually went back and listened, saw the Batman trilogy and all those things once again.
Oh, once again?
Yeah, I spent basically the last week watching all three of the Batman trilogy. But I also watched Batman 1989 by Tim Burton.
In between the exams?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh.
And then, like before exams. And I also watched Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. So basically, I was going back as much as I could into the DC movies, and I still think that what Christopher Nolan did to Batman was very
nothing can top it.
It's something that cannot be topped really, in my opinion, because Christian Bale was the perfect Batman.
Yeah, the perfect.
And it feels weird even in Batman vs Superman to see Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, man, it gave us Joker. Like Heath Ledger was legend, man.
See, that's something I'm really pissed about because in Dark Knight Rises had a definitive end to the Batman story, almost in a certain way, because they established that Batman is growing old and that he basically retired and went to a different country and stuff like that. And then Batman vs Superman came and it was really weird.
Yeah, too weird.
And then Justice League was very disappointing as well.
Also, the plot was very not good, right? Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, it was very disappointing and it was not a good movie.
Something related to their mother's name, Martha or something.
Yeah.
That contributed a whole lot.
What pisses me off is, even after Dark Knight Rises, you could see there could have been a potential story, you know. Actually, you know what? Let's have an episode where we discuss DC movies and Batman and stuff like that. Let's make it a whole episode.
Okay, done.
And I'll put that into our list of ideas.
Yeah, done.
And we'll have a whole episode about Marvel and DC and movies. Coming back to the Fall Guys thing.
Yeah.
You know, that same thing that I was talking about FIFA has happened to Fall Guys. A lot of people are already not.
Also, did they add any new servers?
No. I don't think so.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, no.
No.
And
yeah, I was expecting they would add a server for India.
Yeah, it does feel like that they dropped the ball on this update, because a lot of people are already moving away. Like the streamers and the YouTubers posted about it for like a couple of days when it came out, and but then everyone just went back to Among Us.
But do you know, like in India there was like a tournament was happening for Fall Guys?
There's a lot of tournaments happening for Fall Guys. There's one in India, there's one in UK.
I mean, in India, all top streamers were playing in that.
Yeah. Fall Guys Friday, I think, was also a tournament in which a lot of big name streamers and YouTubers were playing, including like half of the side.
Yeah. Oh.
And that was like that. The prize was actually big as well.
I think now Fall Guys is gradually dying.
Yeah, I mean, see, Among Us is a game that can never really grow old if you actually if you put it out in moderation. Like if you don't spam Among Us, it's actually a game that can go on until an year more.
But there are also some flaws in Among Us. Like there is no big rewards when you are crewmate.
That's definitely one of the drawbacks.
Yeah, now it's only interesting if you get imposter, but like
I think that can be solved when they actually will be releasing Among Us 2.
Yeah. I hope
they are already working on it, right?
Because like very less games are owned by completing all tasks, right?
Yeah.
So that is a major flaw which can be like solved in coming update, or like Among Us 2. Sorry.
Yeah. And maybe they can add in like in-game voice chat as well. That would be great.
That would be great. Also, like, do you know Among Us is not released in 2020? It was actually released a year ago.
Yeah, no, 2018 actually.
Yeah. Sorry, 2018.
Yeah, it's an old game that just came back. I think
some streamer did it. Like some streamer bring it.
Yeah,
bring it.
You know, that's why I'm actually kind of afraid, because what do you think? Is Among Us like a game that everyone is playing because it's good or something like that? Or is it just one of those intermediate games? Like next big thing comes out and everybody will move on?
I think because of the pandemic, there is nothing else to do, and like by playing Among Us, you get to play a game with 10 of your friends, and I think that contributes in the popularity of the game.
Yeah, I mean that's
like playing with your friends and chit-chatting with your friends, like making strategies and all that.
And I think one of the things that also keeps Among Us really interesting is the collabs that this game has given us. Like I just love the collabs that are coming out of the whole streaming and YouTube platforms because of this game. Like, can you imagine? PewDiePie was playing with Logic the Rapper. And KSI. He was playing with KSI.
Even Pokimane. Even Pokimane.
Yeah, they play regularly. And like, it's such weird thing. And even Markiplier played with like Jacksepticeye after a long time.
Also, have you heard the name Corpse in Among Us?
Corpse?
Corpse.
Yeah.
That guy, he's a guy with heavy voice, and because of his heavy voice, he had made an impact, and like he's growing now.
Oh, yeah, he has one of the heaviest voice, like one of the lowest voices.
The heaviest. Yeah.
I mean, I actually discovered a lot of like really great YouTubers because of the collabs that have come out of this. Like there's this YouTuber called Psychono.
Okay.
He like if you watch his, like I'll link it to you in the chat after we end up this episode.
Yeah.
He has a voice of an anime protagonist,
What?
and he looks like one as well.
Yeah. Does he say Nani?
Yeah, no,
Nani?
obviously. Like he sounds and looks exactly like an anime protagonist.
Oh, Tattevayu.
He's a really great YouTuber.
Hmm.
And then there's also people like Disguised Toast,
Okay.
who has a podcast as well, and
Wow.
he is such a witty dude. Like the speed at which he puts out amazing content is just ridiculous.
That's great.
Yeah, that's one thing that Among Us has been great for,
Hmm.
like giving us these really amazing collabs
Yeah.
and like helping us find.
Also, listening to the conversation is like damn fun.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons that the game, as repetitive as it is, will never grow old. Because the conversations will not be the same over and over again.
Yeah. But like
And
the mobile version is good, but not that good. Because of the servers.
Mobile version is good. Mobile version is actually half decent. But yeah, servers really let it down.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like not many people in India actually are playing with their Discord on with 10 friends. Lot of us are playing with like random lobbies, and random lobbies are the worst.
The worst. Also, like when you get a random lobby, like the chat feature is like you can make use of the chat feature.
Dude,
it's like
chat is broken in random lobbies.
Also, like you have to make prediction based on your instincts. And
thing is, Among Us has made me realize how stupid the people is. Like I already know people are stupid, but like god damn it, they are stupid. They've like all you have to do in a random lobby is to say, okay, that guy is sus, and everybody will vote.
And that's it.
Yeah, you just have to be the first person to say that. Just make sure you are the first one to say things, and you are safe.
That's why I think they should add voice feature.
Yeah. That would be great. Like, even though like it will be probably weird for people like me. Like, I cannot speak to strangers for a long time. Like even in PUBG, when I used to enter like random lobbies, I did not really speak.
Oh, but what happens with me is if I get comfortable with someone, then I can like talk.
Yeah. If I'm playing like 5-6 games with like same people, then I'll probably start talking more.
Yeah.
But in Among Us, nobody really plays in the same lobby for like 3 games.
One game.
So, yeah. People, the most annoying people are the ones who join a game and then leave before even the first person dies.
Yeah, because they are not the imposter.
Yeah. Like, why did you even join? Just stop.
Also, I was playing Among Us in mobile last week, and I got disconnected so many times.
Dude, it's annoying. It's very annoying.
Very annoying.
I actually got so frustrated at one point I uninstalled it. But then like the only game I religiously play is like Football Manager and PACE. And PACE Mobile is undergoing a maintenance for like 3 days because they will be launching PACE 21.
Okay.
And so like for the last 3 days I've been a bit bored because I'm like, I only play PACE whenever I'm free, and now that game is not available because it's undergoing maintenance. So I had to reinstall Among Us. Talking about, actually we haven't discussed about it, why we took the break last week. So obviously I had my exams and so did Siddhant. And we actually tried recording and Soumya would have edited it, but that recording didn't really work out. We were not in the mood to talk, I guess.
Yeah.
So we just decided it will be fun to take a break and like come back.
So how was your
And
exam?
my exams were great. Like, obviously, online examinations wouldn't work, and my university realized that.
Hmm. But it was too late.
No. Like, if they had given us any amount of questions, obviously people can discuss around questions very easily.
हाँ.
So what they did instead is like they gave us assignments.
अच्छा.
Like, everybody in the class will get a different topic for his assignment,
Okay.
and you have to write like 10 to 15 pages on that particular topic
Oh.
and submit it to the teacher.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, like, you can very easily research and write about anything. The
Okay.
only stressful part was how little time we were given,
Hmm.
because exams were declared like on Friday,
Hmm.
and on Friday we got to know that exams are going to start from Monday,
Okay. Yeah,
and
that.
so we had to like get to writing like for in 3 days or 5 days we had to write like 6 subjects.
Hmm.
So that was a bit annoying, but yeah, at the end I think it went pretty well,
Yeah.
and I would not be too opposed to actually giving this same form of exams for the next semester as well, because I genuinely feel that by writing this assignment I actually learned more about the topic instead of exams.
Hmm.
Because in exams you basically just mug up for like a week, and then when exam happens you just write whatever you mugged up.
Not a week, for a night.
Yeah, often for a night. And
Hmm.
with this you actually had the time to actually look up things and see like what you want to write, and that way you learn more about the topic, and even I actually got a bit very interested in some of the topics that I was writing on.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that really helps, and I think that would be really great. Like, people, I mean, I say people, universities need to focus more on such assignments.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there are like at this point of time we
Hmm.
have 4 internals.
4.
Yeah, 4 internals. So there's like we first internal ends this week. We have a couple of weeks of regular schooling, and then there's
Hmm.
second internal. So there's literally no time in between. And what they should have done is like just cancel a couple of internals and just put in
Hmm.
assignments. That way we get to know
Hmm.
more. Actually, even screw that. Put in assignments for one of them, and then put like a group discussion or like a presentation for the next one. That way
Yeah,
you can
that would
actually
be
discuss
real
a lot
nice.
of topics, and like if people give presentations, like if my own friends give presentations about a particular topic, I'll probably be more interested and I'll be looking at what they are trying to say.
I get it what you are trying to say.
And
Yeah.
at the same time, like we discussed with Brendan,
Hmm.
it will also help our like public speaking skills,
Yeah, speaking skills.
because we will be paying attention to more like what we are doing and what we are trying to say.
Yeah. Also, speaking about like university and all stuff, do you know the cut-off this year of Delhi University?
It was 100%, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's some stupid
100%.
shit. That's so stupid. God
God
damn it! But
damn it.
like, how do you even expect even a good student? Even can you imagine? I can get 96% and I still wouldn't get a college.
Hmm.
That's messed up.
And do you know like the curriculum of Delhi University cities are all outdated and stuff. Like there is no real hype, like no real the thing you will get after admission.
Yeah. I did read about it a couple of times, but I did not look into it, so I don't know
Hmm.
much about that.
Yeah. Not I mean I meant to say is not worth the hype.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude, it's
like
a very messed up situation. You know what I'm actually interested in is how do we go ahead in our academics from here? Because imagine people that had final year
like
exams this week, and their percentage is obviously going to be a lot better and a lot higher than ours.
yeah, but like when the companies will consider it, they will know na ki
Yeah, exactly. Like, doesn't it destroy the credibility of the exams itself?
I think so. I think so. It will. Yeah.
Yeah, people are going to consider it as one of the like infamous years.
Hmm.
Like if you have passed out in 2020, if you are graduated in 2020, it will be kind of a spot on your CV.
Yeah, even if you secure like good marks, like
Yeah. I think they will be evaluated on their 7th semester results at this point.
I think so too. Like,
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what's up. I think that's all that happened this week. Plus, we have been recording for far too long now.
yeah, we need to cut something.
Anything else that you wanted to talk about before we wrap up?
I think we should wrap up.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you know what?
What?
I had this idea
Yeah.
last week when I figured that I would not be able to record because of my exams.
Mhm.
I put out an Insta story if the people would like to listen an episode with just you and Siddhant, because that would be awkward as fuck and I would be really interested in listening to that.
No.
I put out an Insta story asking people about it.
We can
And-
do something like we all three can talk in an
Yeah. So
but-
88% of the people
No,
voted
no.
that they wanted to see an episode with just you and Siddhant so that we can enjoy the awkwardness. Dude, that episode will be so cringe. I want to make that happen.
No, I don't want to.
So yeah, actually, for those of you who don't get the joke, Siddhant and Soumya actually they don't even know each other.
Yeah. Also, we haven't talked. Yeah.
Yeah, Siddhant was my friend in like class 10th, and I met Soumya when I went to Isaac in like class 11th. So yeah, that would have been something. So yeah, I think that's where we will wrap up. Also, shout out to you guys. You have been doing some amazing work. The support to the podcast has been unreal. Like,
Yeah. Thank you guys. Arigato.
the growth has almost doubled up in the last couple of weeks. And that was actually also one thing, I was thinking about, that maybe it wasn't the best time for us to have taken a break, because we are we have suddenly got this growth going on. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to make this something that we have to do. It's okay to take a break, and we'll just take this at our own pace. And so yeah, shout out to you guys for supporting us. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. That will help us massively. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will become very active really soon. I'm working on it. And apart from that, there's also the next couple of episodes are also going to have really amazing guests that I have got lined up, and we'll be recording that very shortly right now.
Yes.
And yeah, much love to all of you. Make sure you keep supporting us, and yeah, see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you.
And also make sure to follow us on Instagram, because I'll put up stories and I'll put up things, and you can get a sneak peek on who the next guest is going to be and all that good stuff. There's also going to be clips and
Also,
everything.
you can
like that.
interact with us anytime.
Yeah. Feel free to DM us and tell us things that you want us to talk about on the episode, and we'll listen to you and we'll discuss if there's anything good.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.